Hey everyone, it's Friday. How is it Friday? 5 days in already. So, welcome to day 5. We are going to be diving in today into reclaim your energy with soul nourished, soul aligned decisions, right? So, I am going to be going through today how to create a massive action plan that leads to powerful execution. All right. It's really important to have a plan, a vision, understand and know where you're heading. All right. And to make actions and take actions that are in alignment with your vision. I think it's so important. So many people have a vision, but their actions are out of alignment with what their visions are. And then they're like, I'm finding it really hard, right? And so we want to make sure that your massive action plan is aligned with your vision. So that's what we're doing today. So really exciting day that we're going to be going through. And I need you to have a journal or a piece of papers, right? Notebook, pen to hand, pencil, whatever, because we are going to be doing some journaling together today. Okay. So do grab that if you don't already, because it's a little bit of a different session than we have done throughout the week. But welcome. We've got Chantel, Monica, Joanna, Tiffany in the house, and we'll continue to let others in as they arrive. So what I would love to share before I get started is Gail was like, oh, you've got to show them this video. You've got to show them this video. So I'm like, okay, Gail, we're going to show them this video, which is from the fabulous Academy member, Trez and Nick. Let me see if we can show this. Hold on. Let me see. Which is about vision. And it was like really inspiring. I was like, okay, let's share away. Let's share away. Let me see if I can do that. So that's getting together and getting ready. But yeah, it's all about vision, okay? Hands up if you're excited to talk about vision. Yay! Awesome. Love this. Love, love, love. Okay. So let us, it all starts with a vision, right? So here we go. Short little video, 2 minutes long, but it's a quite a great take on vision here from Trez, who's a member of our Let's hear from you, Trez. Come on.
Hello. So sorry, I'm moving around a lot. I double booked myself this morning accidentally.
That's all right.
But yeah, everything that you're saying, obviously I can completely relate to it because
You Academy member.
I have worked with you before, so I know exactly what you're saying. And I guess for my encouragement for people who have not personally worked with you would be one, to invest in you because you are worth every dollar. And two, it would be that, like you were saying, you don't have to like hustle all the time. You don't have to be like working hard, rolling up your sleeves, doing everything. Like you absolutely can live the life that you want and make good money and be relaxed and have joy and have peace at the same time while you're doing it. And a lot of people will actually try to make you feel bad if you're not doing it the traditional way, like they will feel like you're not working. Like, how are you actually working? I haven't seen you do anything, but actually I don't have to do anything because I set up my program in a way to where I don't have to be on the go all the time. I don't have to always be marketing and on a call or doing all these different things because Dr. Talene taught me that I don't have to do it that way. So yeah, this is my and I'm not for anybody who's on here, I was not encouraged to, promote this, but I have personally invested in Dr. Celine and she is worth every, and she did not ask me to talk good about her, but I'm joining this because even her free things that she puts out there is always valuable. It's always powerful. It always keeps you energized and sparked and ready to go. And it's just amazing. And so I love it. So thank you.
I love you. I love you, Trez. Yay! So there's hands up to Trez, right? So Gail was like, we got to show this video on Vision Day, right? To remind you that even as you go forward and execute your vision, Other people might say like, oh, you can't do it like that. Like it shouldn't be like this, or do it that way, or you're supposed to be like grinding, hustling hard, right? Or 24/7. And it gets to be your vision and how you want it. Okay. So we're going to be going into vision today. Now please do if you can be here like Tiffany with your cameras on, great. If you can't, then no problem. Okay. But we're going to be diving into all things vision. So here's what I want to cover with you, right? So now here we go. All right. So I want to talk about having a map. And this is not just about having like a written plan, but this is actually about drawing attention to your thoughts and beliefs as well as you develop your map, right? Because your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and actions must align with your plan, right? Thoughts, beliefs, attitude, actions must align with your plan, okay? No worries, Chantal. I love that you are here and absorbing this. Okay. When I start the journaling piece, you may want to grab a seat, grab your journal and dive in. All right. But your plan must be aligned with your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and actions. Yeah. It is not about like if you are truly about what you want, it is not about just wishing and wanting for change, right? It is not about just meditating and praying for change, but you have to actively work towards it, right? Week in, week out, month in, month out, and be who you need to be in order to obtain what you want to obtain and do what you need to do in order to obtain what you want to attain, right? It's all got to add up. It's all got to align, right? And this is so important. You cannot hold a vision for whether it is executing your mission and being like, okay, I've got a mission and I want to build a community to X amount, or I want to have X number of clients, or I want to make X number of revenue. But we look at your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month actions, right? We look at your beliefs, we look what's underneath the hood, right? And it's not matching up to what you actually want. It's all got to align, right? And so it's really, really important to check in with what you want for the vision and make sure that your actions, your beliefs, your thoughts are all aligned with it, right? Very, very important. And this is going to require you probably to make some decisions and take some actions that require some bold moves, some different moves, right? In order to go where you're going, because where you're going is probably a next level, right? If you're here in this room, if you're here in the replay or the challenges, right, you're going to your next level. Yeah. And so it's recognizing that whatever's brought you to where you are now, right, more is required to bring you to where you are going next. Yeah. Very, very important to recognize that. Okay. So there we go. There we go, Gail. Sorry about that. There we go. Right. So more is required to recognize that. So very, very important to how do we do that? How do we align our beliefs, our thoughts, our attitudes, our behavior to what we want? Well, first, we need to know what is it that we want? What do you want? Right? What do you really want? And it's okay to dive into that question. Sometimes people stare away from it, right? They stare away from like actually understanding what it is I want, right? But it's about making sure that you write the vision and you make it plain. Yeah, right? So it's important to recognize what is it that I want? What is it that I see, right? I feel God gifts us desire to understand what it is that we want and see so that we can activate our work that is required, right? And so you've got to know what is it that you really want? What is it that you really want for your mission? What is it that you really want in terms of impact? What is it that you really want in terms of lifestyle that's going to help you as well execute your mission? What is it in terms of the monetary amount that you want in order to fund your lifestyle? That is a requirement. We spoke about that earlier in the week. What is it you want for yourself, your clients, your team, your children, right? Your family? What is it you want? And understanding it's okay to want more. It's okay to be grateful for everything that you currently have, and equally also desire and want to level up and want more and do more and glorify, right? Exactly what you are here to do, right? And make your work, your worship, and all what you do, and just elevate yourself, right? So it's really, really important to understand that. And it's okay to grow. And I feel like sometimes people feel guilty of growing, right? And I'm here to remind you that it's okay, it's important, it's actually essential to grow. And it's okay to start with where you're at. When I started my business, like almost 10 years ago, I was like back living with my mum, right? I was in my room in my mum's house, right? I was going through a divorce and all sorts. Like life was so different, so different, right? And I say that as a way to kind of inspire of like, that's what life was like then. And it's changed. It's changed, right? I went from living with my mom and then I rented a 1 bedroom flat and was like there, you know, and like I would do my lives like in like a corner of like this tiny little flat, right? You know, and be like, hi, I'm here, going live, right? Inspiring the world, you know, and now, yeah, I live in a 5 bedroom detached house and all of that, but that's not where I started, right? And it's okay to want more for your standards of living. It's okay to want more for your children. It's okay to want more for your impact. It's okay to want more for yourselves, for your clients. Yeah. And so it's really a reminder, guys, to start with that, with the vision of like, it's okay to say what you want. It's okay to say what you want in terms of your living, in terms of your saving, in terms of your giving, in terms of your tithing, in terms of whatever that might be, right? It's okay to declare and put it out there of like, I want more. Yeah. And so we're going to be going into today a bit of a journaling exercise as well about wanting more and about leaning into that more, right? And going there with it. And we've got Lisa in the house, and I'm not sure how long Lisa can stay with us. So we're going to chat with Lisa before we do this journaling exercise together. But we're going to be looking together at like what the next 12 months is like for you guys. Like, what is the vision? What do you really want? Why do you really want it before we even start with that action plan? Because I need you to know, like, what is it you want? And even if you've done this before, you want to activate this as frequently as possible. So definitely you want to pour into this exercise here. But Lisa, let's bring you up because I know you are juggling things and you are a busy woman. So I want to come to you right now, right? So that you can hop off if and when you need to. But Lisa, you're an Academy member, right? And right now, you guys know that I'm currently enrolling into the Academy for the October cohort. And I would love, Lisa, to share just your mission and like what you would like to share with people who might be where you once were of like, I've got a vision. I ain't even started. I don't even know if I've ever seen myself as the CEO of my business, right? Or even my life, which is very different today, right? And I would just love you to just talk and share your story and inspire the room with what you want to share, really.
Okay, thank
Welcome.
you, Talene. So hello everyone. So I have actually been with Talene since 2021. And at the very beginning, like I'm a total different person as I was in the beginning. And what drew me to Talene is that I knew I had a vision. Firstly, I knew I wanted to work online, but nowhere did I see anyone talking about working online. And I'm a counselor, and I knew that counseling is capped if you're just working. So I didn't know what my vision was. And then Talene, an advert popped up with Talene, and she was speaking of things that I knew I wanted, but I didn't know anyone was doing them. So I was drawn to her from the get-go. And then I would say when I did speak to Talene one-on-one, I was in the mindset of lack, I guess, and of I could only get one thing at a time. That was my mindset, and I didn't realize it. So I was doing my carpets in my house, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do both. I think Talene, I might have to hold out because I need carpets, because to me, the newness of like just getting my environment to look like how I felt I was in that moment was really important. So I just got myself into alignment of what do I want in life, because I've always been a giver. And so I was like, oh, so even though it was carpet, to me, it was like, no, this is like, this represents who I'm becoming. This represents something for me. I've not done something for me before. So when Celine, I was like, oh, I don't know. And Celine has always, and anyone knows me, I don't say things I don't mean, but she has always seen the higher version of myself, which is what I really needed from a coach. So her seeing that and just asking a simple question, is there a way that you could do both? Because I know I was just always one track. And I was like, actually, yeah. And then I got so excited. So
I
fast
love
forward.
this. I love it. I want to interrupt and say
Okay.
something because it's so important, guys, right? In terms of like, even as you up level and move, you can go back to tendencies that keep your thinking small, right? Of like, oh, I can only have this or this, right? How do I have it all? How do I do it all? Is it possible? And I was even telling a story, and I don't know if any of you have read the book, Oprah's book, what I know for sure. And I was saying to you guys the other day, I was like, you know, even in Oprah's book, there is a moment in there where it illustrates that, like Oprah, billionaire Oprah, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, like there's a moment in that book where she's like in the shop, you know, with her friend, and she's like, "Ah, I really like these dishes for my kitchen. Should I get the green or the blue? I really like them both, but I need to like get one or the other." And her friend was like, "Oprah, anyway, right? You want the green and the blue, get them both, right?" And it's just like a reminder of sometimes the default, your mind will go back to kind of scarcity, lack thinking, no matter what level you get to. And you have to put yourself in a reminder of, I'm the CEO, right? And I see that over and over again, like you just naturally doing that, Lisa, now, right? Of like, some decisions got to be made.
Yeah.
You know, and celebrating with us and being like, guys, I've done this, you know, or this has happened, but yeah, this is how I show up.
Yeah. So for me, talking about that, my identity, I didn't realize at the time that I had a vision. My mission is to help women who find themselves in loveless relationships or like a self-defeating cycle of wanting love and attracting the wrong type, and bringing it back to self-love first and understanding who they are and building them up to then be able to now be equal with what they really and truly want in a love life, what in a partner. So that's my goal, because it all starts and ends with love, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And so that was my goal, but I didn't. So that's what I wanted, but I deep down I didn't believe that I could be a business owner. So I wanted it, and I'm going for it, but there was a block for me that I didn't realize I had. And to lean at every point in time, if you can just envision me sitting in my room, like just sitting on the floor with my knees up and holding myself kind of like this. And Talene was like the bigger sister that will come and sit down beside me and say, what's happening? And that meant so much more than just, she's not just a business coach. It's not that. You get so much more. And every time she's like, all right, are we ready? She gives the right amount of love, the right amount of support, and the right amount of push to say, let's go. Which you need all. And so that's why I'm here. I'm passionate, and I'm like, listen, this is way more than just a business coach. This is, I can tell that it's a God-given gift for Talene to help those who, for her to bridge the gap between people who know what they want and might not quite understand how to get there. So she's very business savvy, very tech savvy, but at the same time, she's very inspirational. She's very loving, kind, supportive, and it comes from a genuine heart. And there's, even if she doesn't have it, like for me, I'm dyslexic, but also along the journey, I realized, okay, I've got ADHD traits. And so she literally just tailored it for my so it's like, that's fine. And she's very adaptable. So she adapts to people. It's not just, this is what I've got, take it or leave it. It's very much catered to you. But it's so much that it's like she walks you through it. So she doesn't just leave you. Because I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about all of that stuff. And whereas a lot of people at the time that I came in, everyone had their businesses and I didn't. I never went to business school. I didn't study business at all. So I felt like, and I was putting myself back again saying, oh, I didn't like asking for help. I have to give Talene props on that because now I can. But it was really hard for me. My default, as what Talene, we all have defaults, was to try and figure it out myself. So even though I had a coach, I wasn't used to having someone to help me figure it out. I used to just do that myself. So that was a real learning curve for me.
I think that's a really important point that you're sharing there, Lisa, because, of course, guys, I've been around in the coaching world for a while now, and I've been into various different rooms, right? And there are rooms that you don't have this experience, and you are not held or the environment's tailored to you. It's like that you're a number and you best kind of figure it out. Yeah. And so to understand yourself and the needs that you guys need as you build your business is absolutely important. And I'm not for everybody, you know what I mean? But I feel like people will know, just like Lisa did for herself, of like, this is the home I want to sit in and be in as I build and scale and grow, and have a community around you and to love on you and support on you, and we're going to see each other in a couple of weeks at the retreat as well. But yeah, I just think that's really, really important. What last words would you like to share, Lisa, before I go into the bit of the journaling with those that may really, really want to go for their vision, but they're scared? They're like, oh my gosh, right? I'm not sure, like, any words of encouragement that you would like to share with people, regardless of what they decide, to just ensure that they just remain committed to their path?
Well, I will say, firstly, you owe it to yourself, because I always see it as, at the end of my life, I want to look back and not have regrets. I want to know that I did the things that was in my heart to do. That's one. I don't want to have regrets. I want to have lessons, because this is life. We're learning, we're growing. So I would say not to steal from yourself. It's your vision is within you for a reason. So even though you may not be used to doing things for you, but this is the first step, and this will be the best step, because it doesn't just stop there. It actually elevates the whole of your life in different areas. At the beginning, I was just working 9 to 5, and then slowly I've managed to actually be a consultant. So people are, but as well, I'm now doing my business, and it's just recognizing that you have a bigger goal, and then just put your head down and be like, what's the first step? And I'll say that. And then another thing I would say is Talene is the best person and she hasn't paid me for this. She's not paying anything for this, okay? But she is absolutely the best person and I've met wonderful coaches, but she is a person that you can trust, a person that is supportive, and that she will meet you where you're at. And even if you think you can slyly go missing, you can't. He will message you and say, so I haven't really heard from you. Is everything okay? And if you know that you need that support of just a loving environment, learning environment, uplifting environment, then I would say go for it. Honestly, go for it. For once, just when I signed up to on my counseling course, I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I didn't know how I was going to find the time to do it. I didn't know what. I just knew that I needed to do it. So I went on holiday. You come back on a high. So I quickly just did the form, fill it, and just bam, and just was like, God, do it. And sometimes that's just how you've got to feel the fear and do it anyway, when you know that actually this is something within your heart and it's the purpose to do it.
I love it. Thank you for giving to the room, Lisa. I know you're really busy, right? So we are truly, truly grateful. I'm sure this has helped lots of people, just inspiring you on your journey, guys. No matter what you decide, whether the academy is for you or it's not for you, it's about inspiring yourselves to go after your God-given mission. All right. So thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
I'll see you soon. All right. Take care. Thank you. Thank you. Was that helpful, guys? Was that helpful? Let us know, right? So, I think it's important for you guys to be inspired, not just by me this week, but by others. That's why, when they are open to jumping in and sharing their thoughts, I think it's very, very helpful for you on your journey because you're going places, guys. You're going places. Yeah, this is not just like I'm hopefully gonna do something, but this is about you like deciding and declaring and taking action of like I am going places. And so what I want you to do today is we're going to do some journaling together. All right. So grab a notepad, journal, paper, back of some envelopes, right? Whatever you need to get. Grab them because we're going to do some journaling because I need you to just take some time and we're going to kind of go through this quite quickly. So we're only going to have about 10 minutes of journaling, but you can always expand on this after this session. Okay. So we're just kind of touching on the points. All right. As well. Okay. So we're going to do this. Yeah. So here it goes. I'll give you a little bit of a moment to grab your journal, all right? And I'll play a little bit of music in the background to help you focus. Yeah, all right. So, hear the sound okay? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, can you still hear me? Yeah, awesome, awesome, great stuff, guys. So, what do I want? That's your first question, right? So I want. This is what I really want. When it comes to my mission, when it comes to my life, this is what I really want. When it comes to my family, when it comes to the people that I'm helping, when it comes to the money that I'm making, when it comes to my lifestyle, this is what I want. I'll give you a couple of minutes. You might just bullet point them or jot them down, scribble around. I want. It's okay to want. Yeah. It's okay to want more. It doesn't mean that you're ungrateful for what you currently have. You can be grateful for what you have and want and desire more, another level. And for anyone that struggles with this question, whether live here today or on the replay, start by writing down what you don't want and then flip that around into looking at what you want. What do you want? What do you want for your business? What do you see? Transformational experiences, online coaching, retreats, workshops. events, speaking, books, merchandise. How much do you see in your bank account when you get paid from your business? Yeah. What's your take home? And then double that. What does the business then make? How are you revenue generating? Where do you want to live? What type of home do you want? Or do you want a motorhome? Do you want to be free? Do you want a yacht? Right? Do you want a garden? Do you want fields? Do you want flowers and plants out there? Vegetables, fruit? What about for your family, your friends? What are your relationships like? What do you do for fun? What nourishes you? I'll give you one more minute on that question. What do I really want? So let's look at why. Why? Yeah? Why do I want it? Right? How would it impact you personally? Right? Why do you want these things? How would it impact you? How would it impact your family? Other relationships? Community? How would it impact the people that you work with, your clients? How will it impact team members? I know Gail showed earlier this week how it's impacted her. How will it impact the mission that you're on? What's the ripple of impact? Like the clients' lives changing, but who else's lives change? Do the people that they interact with, their lives change as a result of this? If you allowed yourself to have excess and overflow, what would you do with that? Excess money, excess love, excess joy, excess all these things, right? why will this all make a difference? Why is it worth it? Going after what you really want. Why is it worth it? Why does it become a non-negotiable? And who would you become in the process? Like going after what you want, who do you become? How do you change? What does it mean about you? You're becoming. I'll give you one more minute to write on the why. Okay, and then lastly, I want you to reflect on it's done, right? It's done. You're there. All those things have been added onto you. You are there. You're in full receiving of it. And you are in this place where you take a moment and you're like, wow. With a great sense of awe and appreciation and love and gratitude and celebration. And then you look back and you're like, thank you to you today, right? What are you thankful for? What decisions would you have had to make that you are thankful for? What actions would you have had to take and make non-negotiable that you are thankful? What risks would you have really jumped out and done and thought, I don't know whether I'm going to fall or fly, but I'm going to try it? What are you thankful for? And what mindset breakthroughs have you had that you are thankful for? Because now you are showing up in life in this new way, at this new level. And once upon a time, you just saw it on paper. You wrote the vision, you made it plain. And now it's here. And you look back to you today and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. What are you thankful for? So what decisions are you thankful for? What actions are you thankful for that became non-negotiable? What risks are you thankful for? And what mindset breakthroughs are you thankful for? I'll give you one more minute on that question. Right, finish up that sentence, guys. You can always carry this on at a later date, right? Or later today. Yeah. So before we get back together, I want you to stretch up if you need to. Stretch up, give yourself a hug. Put your hands on your chest. Put your hands together and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Yourself. Run in yourself to look and write and be with the vision. Yeah. Breathe in. Breathe out. And remind yourself that you have totally got this. Even when sometimes you feel like you might not. You do. All right. So let's come back together, guys. Was that helpful? You enjoy that? Yeah, right? We cannot work on a plan without working on the vision. Okay. Very, very important. So I love doing this because sometimes people have done something like this before, right? But maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's not been to the types of questions that I've asked as well. And it's helped you go a little bit deeper into what you actually want. And I encourage you to review this daily, like every day. Yeah, read it, put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. I know, for me, like even if you live somewhere where you like don't want to put it out on display, like maybe you can put it in your own wardrobe, right? Like when you open the wardrobe to pick out your clothes, you see it, right? And you read it and you take it in. But read it, be with it, see it, right? And allow it to just go through you in a way that inspires you to put your best self forward, even when it feels really like scary or frightening, right? It also feels exciting because you know more is possible. Yeah. So very, very important because you have got to be prepared to say yes to your mission and to the vision that you hold for your life. You have got to be prepared. No one else, right? You. Yeah. You have got to be prepared to say yes. Okay. So it's very, very important to acknowledge that and to take ownership of that, extreme ownership of that, right? Like the mission is given to me, no one else, me, right? You got to take ownership on that and your vision. And as you do that, it's important to take every thought captive. Okay, right? Like as you press forward, your mind's going to do some crazy things, right? It's going to tell you some things that you're like, oh, I don't know again. Oh my God, right? Like it's just the way the mind works, okay? But it's important if you take every thought captive or take every thought and put it like it's into your own like court of law. I'm like, is this true? Right? I'm gonna like assess this thought. Is this true? You get to change your thoughts and perspectives and beliefs because that's all a belief is, right? The thought and the beliefs are just perspectives that you have accepted as true and you get to alter them, which is great, right? So your current reality and your current way of thinking has been formed through what's previously happened, right? So through life situations, and circumstances, maybe through verbal conditioning of what you hear, right? Or what you've seen through modeling. Yeah, what you've seen through modeling. Like for me, oh my goodness, like just briefly, like I saw, I was raised with my mom and my dad until I was like 13 years old. And my dad, he's exceptional in the music industry right now. But at that time, like, 30 years ago, right, he went through just a little, blip going on there. And he like lost his finances, right? He was in his mission and he lost his financial footing, which meant we lost our home, and like it broke down my mom and dad's marriage. And I never saw my dad again from that age until a few years ago, right? So I went forward into my business super scared that if you go after what you want and your God-given purpose, you lose everything. Like that was like within me of like, that's what I've seen. And I had to rewrite that story, and it's by acknowledging that the beliefs that you hold are just perspectives that you can alter. You've just accepted it as true, right? But it can be altered. Yeah. And so it's really important to recognize like what beliefs and perspectives do I need to alter right now in order for me to step forward courageously, right? And do the plan that I map out for my business. Yeah. Because you've got to make sure that whatever steps you take now align with the vision, right? So you like things like working out, like, does my current way of working align with the vision, right? Like, sometimes people are they've mapped out like a revenue goal or the target, and then they're charging like £50 an hour or something. And then they're like, okay, what would need to happen for me to achieve it? And it's like, it doesn't even make sense, right? So you got to make sure like your model of business or your model of working or your way of thinking and what you're acting, your actions are aligned with your vision. It all makes sense. Yeah. And so assess those things. So some of the beliefs, I'm going to run through a few beliefs that commonly get into people's ways. All right. And so some of the beliefs that can get into people's ways that you might want to work on and reframe as you go forward with your vision, all right, are the following, okay? Because I want you to have an action plan, which is going to be based on what your vision is. I want you to scale back and be like, what needs to happen over the next 12 months? Utilizing all what we've learned over the last 4 days, right? What needs to happen in the next 12 months when it comes to my mission? What needs to happen in the next 12 months when it comes to my marketing? What needs to happen in the next 12 months when it comes to my sales, right? What actions will I take as a result of that? Who will I need to be? What decisions will I need to make, right? And how am I going to measure my progress? One of the things I spoke about, business health check, right? Measurement of progress. What did I do? Yeah, like how have I moved, right? What am I about? Just to see, right? When you measure, you move. Yeah, because you're not going to allow yourself to see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Like there's only so much where you're going to be like, I'm done, I'm over. Like I got to move and sort myself out. Yeah, so, but we're going to create an awareness of that, right? And so that's why measuring it moves the needle as well, and for you to be able to assess your progress. That's why corporate has key performance indicators. Like it or not, they need to know, like, what are these people doing in this place that is moving forward what we need to move forward? And you need to have that as a CEO in your business too, right? And take yourself seriously. So these are some of the thoughts that often get into people's ways that need to be reframed. So one of the thoughts is more education. More education. I need more education. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not knowledgeable enough. I need more education as a practitioner. It doesn't matter that I've got my doctorate degree or my master's or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. I've done this certificate and that certificate. Maybe if I just get skilled and trained as a hypnotherapist now, everything's gonna change, right? And they upskill and they keep upskilling themselves as practitioners. Or maybe I need that coaching certificate now. Maybe I need this, right? For many of you that come across me, at the time you come across me, you are skilled enough in what you want to do with your mission. And your focus right now needs to be audience building. It needs to be strengthening relationships. It needs to be growing your business, right? And just getting out there and learning through experience. And as you do that, your upskilling will naturally happen for you as the practitioner or a coach or consultant as your emotion in ways that make sense, right? Because as you start to move forward, and I had a great call with somebody yesterday, and I was talking to them about this in terms of as you move forward and you create like the people around you that align with your mission, you may just, instead of you getting that skill, you may just hire somebody and be like, do you know what? In my transformational experience, I want to have somebody that comes in and does a hypnotherapy session, for example, right? You could literally pay that person like X amount to come in and do a session or a workshop or a training, right? And not necessarily have to pay 10 times that to potentially upskill yourself in that, right? So it's very, very important of recognizing, like, start the mission and the business, and you will work out whether you being upskilled in these particular things is necessary as you build the mission, or whether you're actually going to have people come in and deliver certain things that require you to have what you need to have in order to serve the mission. Okay, so it's all going to make sense. Remember that God doesn't call the equipped, right? He equips the called. Okay, so you move forward. All right, so that's my little spin on that one, education. The one I can't, I can do this by myself. I can do this by myself, right? I can do it. I've done my doctorate, I've got education, I've done some things out here. I can do this. I'm not silly, right? I get that. Yeah. Now, this is often normally rooted in a limiting belief of being capable means not needing help. Right? I'm strong. I can do this. I don't need anyone around me. Oh, yeah. I don't need anyone around me. Right? That could come from a variety of different places. I know my mum leaned into that a lot once my dad left. I don't need anyone. I got this. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that you haven't got this, but it can mean that by having support alongside of you, community alongside of you becomes smart and wise, right? Like you guys know, I am like all about the Bible and God, right? And it talks about having the multitude of counsel, right? There is safety, right? Of putting yourself in a place where you are around people is safe. Yeah, the right people though, right? Yeah. So it's important to make sure that you set yourself and plant yourself in a place where you can have that support as you grow and you elevate. Okay, so it can be really smart to accelerate your growth and avoid costly mistakes, right? And gain outside perspective by putting yourself alongside those things. And even when you look at that thinking, in terms of like, I can do this myself, often the things that you might think you've done by yourself, you've never done it by yourself, right? Like there's been people or situations or whatever that have been around you that have been some level of support. So that's one for there to question. Is that something I need to take thought captive into my court of law and reassess? Time. Do I have time? Is there a better time, right? How do I work with time? This again can be one. Now, I've got a great training actually on YouTube. We'll probably put it in the community on time, right? Where I use the acronym LOVES. Yeah, loves is I'm all about love, right? Love. So you can change your relationship with time, have tighter boundaries, and say no where you need to say no, right? And yes, where you need to say yes. Where do you need to lower time, right? How are you pouring out your time into places, people, situations that do not align with your vision and where you're going? You need to lower that, reduce that, right? Or delete it totally. Yeah. So assess your time, do an audit of your time. Maybe do an audit of your time over the past week, right? And see what served me, what hasn't, and make some decisions. Yeah. So the L is for lower, O is for outsource. Can I outsource? How much time potentially do I spend like walking up and down there's aisles of the supermarket? Could I like outsource this and like get the delivery driver to bring the shopping to my door, right? Could I outsource potentially how many hours do I spend in the kitchen? Are there other capable grown human beings in this house that can help me, right? Or could I outsource and have some, some support and help in the house? How can I outsource? V is for void, and there's some things that you just need to delete because they're not serving where you're going right now in this season. E is for expand. Maybe there's things you need to expand your time on, expand the time you're spending on your business. Maybe you're like, I've only got an hour a week. If we lower, outsource, and void some things, you could find 10 hours a week. Yeah. And then stick or stack, right? You might look at your time and be like, I'm happy with that. I'm happy how much time I spend sleeping, right? Or with my children or whatever. Or maybe you want to stack time of like, okay, I want to turn my car into a library when I'm driving to work or when I'm commuting. I'm going to listen to trainings or I'm going to upskill myself, right? So change your relationship with time. Yeah, you can make the time. I've seen the busiest of people that even I thought like, can they make the time? Right? Like make the time. Yeah. So you can make the time. Money, right? How do I find money? I've already invested so much in a business. Should I wait until I make money before I invest again? Like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Now, this is the thing. Yeah. It's likely that the majority of business, not all business, but majority of business, there's going to be some level of investment capital required to shift forward. Yeah. And that's just the truth of things. Okay. So it's about expanding a thought of like, instead of having statements that might shut things down in terms of there's no way, this isn't possible for me. These just close doors. By changing your relationship with how you talk to yourself and asking things that may bring curiosity and creativity out in terms of how could I make this possible, right? Are there people that would be open to supporting me? Is there ways that I could get the investment capital in other ways and maybe spread the cost out as I build my business in the revenue? Okay, looking at what does this investment look like in terms of return on investment. So these are things as well to think about. It's often a shift for many people come into business with an employee mindset, right? Versus a business mindset, an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, there's nothing wrong with employment, but often employment mindset builds a limited mindset. Like everything's finite, that it comes in on the 20th of the month, and then once it's spent, it's gone, and I gotta wait again for the 20th of the month, right? We're seen as a finite resource that it just comes in and then it goes, right? Whereas you want your abundance mindset to kick in and understand that actually it's an abundant universe that God has created, right? That actually like there is provision available for all, right? And that, like literally I need to shift my thinking into how I move into and recognize that actually if I was to put out there, like someone said it to me beautifully. One of my clients said once, I think of it like, how do I send my money off to have babies? Right? Like, how do I send it off to multiply? Yeah. You think of it as a multiplication. Okay. You really think about that. All right. And you recognize that when you really invest in purpose and in alignment, there's a return on joy, peace, freedom, and monetary in return as well. So really leaning into that as well. Thinking that are my investments aligned with the vision? This is so important because sometimes people get caught up on one element of their vision, right? And you want to come back to your true vision, right? Your true vision. Yeah. So if part of your vision is finances, right? Financial freedom, part of your vision is that, right? Then you may make decisions that just line up to that part of the vision, but it's not part of the full vision. And so you're out of sync, such as, for example, you recognize and truly what your mission is, but you go and you set up, I don't know, some network marketing business elsewhere, something, because you're just focused on one thing and you're like, I need that sorted first, right? You focus on what you are meant to focus on, right? Your mission it will align. Like things will move. Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it will align. Yeah. It will align. Like trust in that. Okay. The other one, the thoughts, the doubters, right? The doubters, maybe sometimes these doubters aren't near you, like they're in your home, right? Maybe these are well-meaning loved ones, right? They just want to protect you, keep you safe, like, like I just want to be safe, and it's really about recognizing like you are the CEO of your vision, right? You are the CEO of your vision. God has placed the vision in your heart, okay? And it's okay that they don't understand. Now, ideally, it would be great if they could be on the same path as you, but it's also okay for them not to be on the same path with you and you to just do what you need to do. Yeah. So I think that's really, really important about recognizing that as well. Yeah, of really putting trust in the vision that you have, that you can see, and just pour out. And as you step, like let your actions speak louder than your words. Like let your actions speak louder than your words. Step out, do the thing. First, they will be saying, "Can you do that?" And then they'll be saying, "How did you do that?" Right? First, they will say, "Can you do that?" And then they will say, "How did you do that?" Jeez, I want to know, right? So really step out with your actions more than your words, right? Energy. I'm overworked. I'm tired. I'm stretched in all directions, right? Now you feel like you're running on empty. Here's the truth. This is something actually we help people with in the academy. Is time, is money mindset, all of those things as well, right? Redefining and elevating who you need to be. But as you shift your relationships and your boundaries, like which I was saying about time, you will see like your energy just uplift. Okay, so you've got to ask yourself these questions. Where do I need to, like, what can I let go of? What do I need to delegate? Where do I need to say no more? Right? And empower myself to respect my mission, right? How do I respect my mission? How do I create more time for rest and soul nourishment so I can drive what I'm doing forward? Because as you step forward and do what you're doing, it's going to energize you. It's going to energize you. Even if you have an hour a day for it, it's going to give you life, right? It's going to give you life. So overall, guys, question the narratives you have in your mind, all right? Question it, yeah? Decide, how have I been holding myself back? And what am I going to do differently moving forward? Because what has got you where you are today needs to be adjusted to get you where you're going tomorrow, right? So recognizing, getting some truth around it. What walls have I been putting up? What delay tactics have I been putting up? We have our own delay tactics that we put ourselves up. Oh, I just need to do this first. I just need to wait for the kids to be 18 and then they leave and fly out the nest or whatever, right? Delay tactics you might be saying to yourself, and correct yourself and be truthful with yourself. Okay. You can write your future differently, guys. All right. Decide who you need to be as you powerfully press forward. Yeah. What habits, mindset, beliefs, actions, and thoughts you're going to powerfully claim as you step ahead. Embody what you want and take courageous decisions. And sometimes I think it's so helpful to just think back to your ancestors and think about the bold, courageous moves many of them had to make, right? And if you just had like a smidgen of like what they had, yeah, you will move, right? I feel like we're in such a privileged opportunity and time that sometimes, comfort and putting up with the status quo just means like, yeah, and you want to activate your flow and decision and move forward. So you want to write out your massive action plan from what we've done today, including what am I going to do over the next 12 months? Why am I going to do it? Right? How does this relate to marketing? How does this relate to sales based on everything I've learned this week? And what decisions am I going to make moving forward? And what powerful thinking am I going to lean into as I move forward? I would love for you to celebrate your powerful thinking with us in the community as well. Okay. Remember, guys, doors to the academy are open. Gail, if you haven't already, please do share the link. All right. You are welcome to book a call with us if you would like, with me specifically, if you would like a clarity call to work out whether it's right for you. And Gail can share that link as well there so you can book that call. There's slots in the diary. for early next week. Okay, I'm not taking any calls this weekend. We're out doing some bits and pieces, but I'll be available to speak to you next week if you need a call first before you jump in. For those of you that know it's for you and you're aligned and you're like, this session actually helped me just get out my own way and I'm going to do the thing, then do the thing. And I look forward to celebrating you being in the academy. Okay. Remember, guys, there are 2 sessions next week. Day 6, right? Bonus day, Monday. We're going to meet again on Monday. I'm going to be going through financial planning, business systems as well, and all of the things that so you can really map out like what that means for you as you drive forward your business. And the Tuesday, we're going to do a Q&A, and you'll see a form that comes out. I think it will come out on Monday or Sunday where you can submit questions and stuff. But we'll have a bit of a discussion and a Q&A piece on Tuesday before we close out. So that's everything. Hope this has been really helpful and empowering for you. All right. This has been amazing for me. I love doing these. I haven't done one for months. So I always enjoy showing up and doing this stuff and serving the people. So be full. The replays are out as well. So if you need to revisit or rewatch or watch ones that you missed, okay, go back through them this weekend, carve out time in your diary, say no to some things, all right, make time for you, rewatch, indulge, get your notepad, do your thing, do your business planning so that Monday we can come back strong. You are welcome, guys, okay? So I'll see you then, all right? Take care. Bye.